Hi, and welcome back to Simply Awake. I'm John Ladman, and this is your channel for learning how to be a more effective human being, and in doing so, learning how to wake up and even get enlightened or liberated. So, today I want to talk briefly about what I call some of the core thoughts or core beliefs that I think inflict massive amounts of suffering on most Westerners. And the first one is really a religious belief that I think, I find vestiges of it in Judaism and in Islam. I'm not so familiar with Islam, but I find it most strictly spelled out in certain branches of Christianity, of which I used to be a part. Although I was raised in the Reformed Jewish tradition, I converted to evangelical Protestantism and was a Calvinist. And one of the major doctrines of Calvinism is that human beings from birth are totally depraved. That means we're totally wicked and sinful just by the very act of being born. And to me, this has become the sort of embodiment of all that's pernicious in the teachings of Western religion and even Western culture and education. It's always assumed that some authority figure is somehow or other not totally depraved, and so they can now tell me that I am. And if it's not bad enough that I arrive in a world that's cold, where I'm getting smacked on the bottom to get me to breathe, and where I'm suddenly not warm and protected and listening to mother's heartbeat and all comfortable, not only am I kind of pushed out into this cold, difficult world where I actually have to breathe for myself, and suddenly I'm hungry and I'm thirsty and funny fluids are coming out of my body and all kinds of weird stuff is happening. If that's not bad enough, by the time I'm 3 or 4, begin to learn any kind of truth from parents or religious leaders, somebody slips it into my mind that I'm not worthy because I'm wicked, I'm depraved, I was born in sin, I'm a miserable human wretch, and God hates me. Okay, that's a little bit extreme for some of the current Christian dogma, but it is actually at the core of what I see as a problem in the West of the idea that we all think of ourselves as worthless or I'm not good enough. So whether there's a constant thought repeating that I'm not good enough or I'm not worthless or I can never satisfy him, her, or them, or I can just never get it right, or remember this symbol, or I'm a loser, or whatever it is that we're saying to ourselves, we've learned to say to ourselves. And it's been repeated to us in so many different ways because parents are disapproving of us, because peers are making fun of us, because teachers think we should be getting an A the first time we try something, which of course is impossible. We just get a general sense that we should feel like a failure, feel like there's something wrong with us, feel like we're not good enough, or in the most extreme form, feel like we're wicked from birth. And I want to say that, in my three-ring circus model of the mind, where thoughts are kind of divided into three parts, thoughts about the self, thoughts about others, thoughts about the future. This thought about myself, that I'm somehow at bottom, I'm worthless or wicked or wrong or bad or should be ashamed of myself or should be embarrassed by myself. This kind of a thought is what I call the black hole of human existence. It is the most difficult of all the thoughts to contend with and seems to influence absolutely everything. It influences how we think others see us. It influences what choices we make. It influences how we see our future. So this idea that we're wicked or worthless or bad or wrong or not good enough is kind of the black hole of human existence as I see it. And I wanted to present that to you, particularly in this video, because I want you to be on the lookout for it. you're going to find it kind of cropping up everywhere. If you're pursuing spiritual awakening, enlightenment, and liberation, or even if you're just pursuing psychological health and balance, somewhere in your thoughts, you're going to have the sense or the thought, I don't deserve to feel good. I just deserve to feel bad because after all, I'm bad. And so you're going to find some kind of self-defeating behavior starting up when you notice that thought arising and don't challenge it. So maybe this is going to be on the shorter side of my videos so far, but I think one of the most important things that you can focus on in your psychological path to wellness or your spiritual path to enlightenment is notice how often the thought, I don't deserve this, I'm not good enough, I'm wicked, I'm bad, I'm wrong, for X number of reasons, how often that kind of thought shows up. Because that thought will shut you down so often, it'll make your head spin once you finally start to notice it. It's one of the reasons that I never taught out loud until I was 69 years old, never put myself on video on the internet, because I thought, well, I'm just not good enough. And as it turns out, everybody thinks that. So I might as well just give it a try. Why not? And anyway, I don't believe I'm not good enough anymore. I'm here. That's it. Okay. In fact, what I am, I can't even say in words. Right. And that's the sort of liberated understanding of human life. But for you, you suffer so much. I suffered so much thinking how bad, how shameful, how wrong I was. And you can have this kind of thought show up in 100 different ways, but look for it and you'll find it everywhere, and start to kind of bust the thought or shatter the thought or dissolve the thought. Notice, hey, wait a minute, where's the evidence for this? Who said I was wicked from birth? How is that proven to me? Did anybody prove that to me? Is it self-evident? Well, if there isn't evidence for it, and there might in fact be evidence for the opposite, like for instance, oh, I can love people and dogs and animals and plants, and oh, if I can love, how can I just be totally wicked? Isn't that sort of antithetical, love and wickedness? So look for the evidence of whether these very insidious kind of black hole statements about how awful you are, whether they're really true or not. Because the truth is, they're really not true. They're really lies. They're the worst kind of lies. And they're lies that are taught to us in the name of religion, so they're very deeply buried in our psyches. Challenge them nonetheless, and you'll find something very important out. They were never true to begin with. And with that comes an increasing amount of freedom to just be as you are, as you're arising in each moment. And that's a wonderful thing. So that's my spiel for today, or my song for today. Blessings on you, and may you find your way out of the trap of feeling like you're nothing but a mistake, and begin to enjoy the human journey and even possibly the journey into enlightenment and liberation. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.